Welcome to the Chalkboard, a podcast hosted by the Gogebic-Ontonagon Intermediate School District. This monthly podcast shares how the GOISD works to inspire students to achieve every day and support the work of our local school districts. I'm Alan Topo, your host and superintendent of the Gogebic-Ontonagon ISD. Today's episode features the work of our reading and literacy consultants and their role in supporting teachers and students in our partner districts. I'm pleased to welcome reading consultants Shelley Trier and Sarah Civila to our podcast. They're joined by Megan Hagan, Director of General Education. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, I'm glad you were able to make time to be here with us today. I know your schedules are very busy and really appreciate you making the snowy trip to Berglund today. I'm going to start with Megan and ask her to please share some of the backstory about literacy coaching in our ISD.
In 2016, Michigan passed the third grade reading law. Part of this law is identifying students who struggle with reading and writing. Many changes have taken place with the law since it was first established. However, the GOISD benefited in the way of receiving funding for a literacy coach when it was first rolled out. That did require a match at first, and eventually that became a full allocation for a coach. And by 2020, that evolved into 2 full-time coaching allocations.
Okay. And we're very fortunate to have 2 very skilled reading and literacy consultants on staff at the GOISD, and they do put a lot of themselves into the work that happens in our local districts. And I'd like to give both of you an opportunity to talk about your role in our local districts and what a typical day might look like for you, or what it looks like to work with teachers to support their work with literacy. So I'll start with you, Shelley.
Thank you. Sarah and I work very closely and collaboratively with each other as reading consultants. So the role of a reading consultant has many dimensions. We play an essential role in supporting individual teachers, grade level teams, and administration within our 6 GOISD districts. We use research-based practices, interventions, and strategies. As reading consultants, we are a resource for educators and support teachers in their daily work. We lead professional development workshops, model strategies and techniques for teachers, conduct collaborative lessons, gather and secure resources for the teachers, observe and give feedback, and stay up to date on the best practices for reading. As coaches, we work collaboratively alongside teachers to support them with what is best for their students as well as for themselves. Instructional coaches partner with teachers to analyze their current reality of their classrooms, set goals, identify and explain teaching strategies to hit those goals, and provide support until goals are met. Literacy consultants can wear many hats. We are cheerleaders, sounding boards, partners, and mentors for all.
So that's a lot of work.
Yeah.
And you're not doing it all at once all the time. You have a framework that you follow and a process that you work through. And some of that is based on what is called the Michigan Literacy Essentials. Could you please explain a little bit of the essentials to our listeners?
Mm-hmm.
The Literacy Essentials were designed for Michigan educators to improve childhood literacy. They were developed by the Early Literacy Task Force, which is a group of education experts from across the ISDs. These 10 essentials provide research-proven, effective approaches to improve children's literacy skills. Their purpose is to increase Michigan's effective and equitable literacy practices for every child, every day, and every classroom. The essentials are meant to give the educators a common language about literacy and practices. An example would be if we were doing a training on phonological awareness, we can talk about essential number 4, which is grounded in the research about that particular skill.
Great. And if parents were interested in taking a look at the literacy essentials, could they get a copy of those?
Yes, you could go to the Michigan Department of Education website, and they are posted there. Sarah and I do trainings at night also in the local districts. We will be attending kindergarten registrations. You may see GOISD staff in other avenues at different local districts when they have like a science reading night. We will always have a copy of the essentials printed with us, and they are free to hand out to the parents and to be explained to the parents.
Great, thanks. So we talked about the work that you do in coaching teachers and the framework that you're following with the essentials. That's part of what you do. Mm-hmm. That's a large part of what you do. But there's some exciting work that you do beyond the classroom, and that involves a new initiative here at the GOISD called the Classroom Library Project. Would one of you be able to give some background on that?
Yeah, I'll start with a little bit of information around the Classroom Library Project. In 23-24 school year, there was a grant that we applied for and received for $10,000. That was a classroom library enhancement grant. From that, we were able to obtain a match for an additional $10,000, and our coaches have been able to gather support, and we've received expansion of funding through local businesses and organizations who found the cause to be worthy, and it has just really grown since that initial allocation.
How the whole project started after we received the grant was teachers could apply for the grant, and from the applications, 8 classroom teachers were chosen to represent each of our 6 school districts. And we will be helping those teachers revamp or renovate their classroom libraries. The reason why that is because diverse classroom libraries, by using high quality books, allow students to learn more deeply about themselves and others through various characters and views within a book. A variety of authors and genres provide learners with a more complex and complete view of the world. Reading becomes a way to make connections, solve problems, empathize with others, embrace mistakes, find joy, and value different people and different cultures. One of the goals of the library project is also to allow students to take books home and foster partnerships with their families and caregivers through the enjoyment of reading.
Okay. It sounds like an exciting project, and I know you had a kickoff here at the ISD building where the teachers who were awarded the funding to enhance their libraries came and participated in a lot of different activities and learned more about the project. And from what I saw from the pictures, everybody looked really excited. They were really thrilled to kick this off. There's a lot of enthusiasm, and I know that's going to carry over into the classrooms. The kids are going to get really excited about this. Beyond the classroom, how can parents and other adults play a role in encouraging children to read?
One of the things is parents' involvement with reading at home has significant positive influence, not only on their reading achievement, language comprehension, and expressive language skills, but also in their interest and attitude towards reading. It is more powerful than any other family background variable. The earlier parents get involved with their children's literacy practices, the more profound the results are and the longer lasting. Some of the ways that the parents can encourage their children to read at first, before they can read, is to talk to them a lot. Everybody is naturally wired to speak, and that's where we start with it. We read to them often and model good reading habits, play language games such as nursery rhymes, play with letters and sounds, pointing out signs and labels as you're driving down the road, take them to the library often, and make reading a regular part of their activities at home.
Okay. And almost every community across the GOISD has a public library that's available for families. And I know as families are looking for new ways to spend time together, going to the library is one of those fun and inexpensive ways families can enjoy time together. So there's a plug for our local libraries. Get out there and enjoy them. I've been in the schools from time to time doing visits, and I've seen both of you in the buildings across the ISD, and it's very clear to me that you love what you do. Your days are busy. I know that. I rarely see you in the buildings, in our office buildings or in your workspaces. So I know you're out in classrooms and working with teachers and students on a daily basis. What do you enjoy most about your role as a reading and literacy consultant, Shelley?
I think the biggest enjoyment that I have is getting to work across a variety of grade levels. So instead of just being in my own classroom where I have 20 students at second grade, I can work with a variety of classrooms from kindergarten to sixth grade. So every day is a little bit different. Every teacher from each classroom brings a different perspective and knowledge to the conversation. As consultants, we disseminate with those teachers and collaborate with those teachers their data and to learn about their students' strengths and deficiencies, and then being able to work with teachers to bolster not only the students' skills, but the teachers' skills with their students in their classrooms to promote confidence, motivation, and academic achievement. For me, it is sometimes like a big puzzle trying to figure out the best research-based intervention to move a student forward in their reading adventure. I also enjoy working with the teachers to enhance their experience as a teacher so that their students gain the best reading achievement they can.
Okay, great. And Sarah, I know you're new on the job this year, right? This is your first year in this role. But what have you found to be your favorite part of the role so far?
I think what I enjoy most about my role as a literacy consultant are all the people that I get to work with. My team, plus all the teachers and staff in our 6 districts are amazing. I also have been passionate about literacy for many, many years, and I love being able to share that passion and make a positive impact on the instruction and contribute to the journey of the teachers and the students. I taught reading in Ironwood for many years, and I'm hoping I can have a bigger impact in this new role because I can, as Shelley said, more than one building, more schools, more students. I know the teachers' jobs at hand can be really busy and pretty tough, whether it's providing resources, talking through an issue, just being in the classroom with them. The idea of creating that supportive environment for other educators makes me really happy. And I just want to help them be able to navigate the world of teaching reading and writing to kids.
Great. Good. Well, it's been a nice conversation this afternoon. I've learned a little bit more about the work that you do as reading and literacy consultants. And, I hope our listeners have learned more about what goes into working on literacy in our local districts. Is there anything else that you'd like our listeners to know about the work being done with reading and literacy in our local schools?
This is Sarah, and I can talk about one of the programs that we've been working on. I've been training and supporting some of the first and second grade teams on a new program called U-Fly Foundations, which teaches students the foundational reading skills to be proficient. The teachers and the students have been working really hard and are very excited about the program, and they've been seeing some really great success. So I'm hoping to continue training some other teachers in that and implementing that program in some of the other classrooms.
Great. Shelley?
Since I started at the ISD 4 years ago, I've been working collaboratively with 2 different ISD reading coaches. The reading coach from the Menominee ISD and the reading coach from the Copper Country ISD. And I have teamed up to bring a new science curriculum to our kindergarten through second grade classrooms. The kindergarten curriculum the science curriculum is called Science, Oral Language, and Literacy Development from the Start of School. The curriculum is based off of the next generation science standards, but has many ties to ELA. They have high quality books of nonfiction. They use a lot of tier 3 vocabulary, and we tie those activities into writing. So even in kindergarten, the students are already starting to write. The students get to experience science through hands-on activities with presentations and experimentations. And the goal is to connect students with community careers for the future.
Okay. And that kind of work can't start early enough.
Mm-hmm. Very true.
I agree.
Yeah. And the curriculum sounds like it's a very hands-on type of curriculum that does incorporate those literacy essentials and skills.
And the exciting news is for the future, the curriculum now is for K2. It is expanding to 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade.
Wow.
That's exciting.
That is exciting. All right. I'd like to wrap up today's episode by thanking both of you for being here. And I know that Megan has a few things she'd like to conclude with.
Yeah, actually, I just wanted to put a plug out there for, you heard about how important access to text are, high quality books. And we do offer the Dolly Parton Imagination Library at the GOISD for all of the kids in our 2-county area for ages birth to 5 years old. So if you're interested in enrolling in your child in the Dolly Parton Imagination Library, they would receive a book a month up until their 5th birthday. So you could reach out to anybody at the GOISD, either a literacy coach or any staff member for that. And also, I just want to thank Shelley and Sarah for all of their work that they do with our local districts. I've seen them support teachers, students, and community members in many different ways. And we are so grateful to have such wonderful, talented people on our team. So thank you both very much.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, that's all the time we have for today's episode. Our next episode will be posted later this month and will feature our center-based classrooms and early on programming. If you have questions about today's episode, please feel free to contact Megan Hagen at mhagen, Hagen, at goisd.org. Thanks again for listening and have a wonderful day.